The art of Franz Schubert is intended to be an awakener to the deepest joys, the most splendid beauties of life. Let's take a look at one of the fantasies that Schubert created to give this expression. It's the fantasy for piano and violin, Deutsch 934. And in this fantasy, Schubert superimposes one intellectual or spiritual universe upon another, and through this superimposition gives you an experience that is derived from both worlds and enriches mutually those two worlds. In the first part of this fantasy, there's several parts to it. In the first part, the poem is by Franz Bruckmann. It's Schwestergruß, greetings from a sister, from a woman. And here, the world, the spiritual world, is that of Isis, the moon goddess of pagan spirituality. It is the world of First Temple Judaism, in which the grand lady, the great lady, is prominent and inviting. And it's the world, of course, of Marian spirituality in Christianity and especially in Catholicism. So the poem starts this way. In the moonlight I wander to and fro, looking at dead bones, quiet graves. A shape rises out of the swirling mists, flowing past me without sin or falsehood, with eyes blue and sincere, as in the fields of heaven, as if in God's own bosom. A white sheet covers the vision. In her soft hand springs a lily, and in ghostly whisper she speaks. I am wafted now in pure light. I see the moon and sun at my feet. I live in bliss in the angel's embrace. But your breast, child of man, cannot know the pleasure, the joy, the wonder that I experience. And so here we have this goddess figure who reveals the fullness, the absolute splendor of femininity, of the goddess who reigns over life itself and who is the bride of God. After introducing her, Schubert then breaks out into a song of praise. This next section is inspired by the poem Gott in der Natur, God in Nature. It was a poem by Kleist, and it was set as a lead, Deutsch 757, by Schubert. Great is the Lord, great is the Lord, the heavens are his castle, the storm his carriage, thunder and lightning his steeds. Great is the Lord, morning's red light is but a reflection of his brilliance. Compared to that splendor, the setting sun is but a spark. This Lord who reveals himself through the goddess, he looks down in love upon the earth, and it takes on life, blossoming in joy. He reproves it, and rocks burst aflame, while sea and sky tremble. Praise the Almighty Lord, starry lights in his castle, majesty of the sun, blaze triumphantly in his name, while we on earth sing his glory. And now Schubert moves on to part 3 for another superimposition, because now he is going to focus directly on his own life experience. And that experience is of pain, agony, because that goddess who was incarnate in his life, in a particular woman, has disappeared. You are now torn from me, from my kisses. This poem is Sei mir gegrüßt by Friedrich Ruppert. It was set as a lead as Deutsch 741. You can be reached only in my dreams, accept my love, accept my kiss. The hand of love once gave you to me, now it has wrenched you away. But accept my love, accept my kiss. In spite of the distance, in spite of the savage separation between us, in spite of jealous fate, accept my love, accept my kiss. In the joyful springtime of our love, you welcomed me with love and kisses. So now from the burning passion within me, accept my love and my kiss. The spirit of love, and now he's going to reflect on this divine spirit that this goddess has brought into his life. The spirit of love transcends space and time. I am with you, you are with me. I hold you in my arms, accept my love, accept my kiss. And so we have here several different worlds: the world of pagan spirituality, the world of Christian spirituality, the world of Jewish spirituality, and the real, actual world in which these goddess figures are made incarnate in a given woman. And yet that incarnation itself is a betrayal to some extent of the goddess. And so she can disappear as well as appear in the life of the wanderer. Then Schubert returns to Schwestergruß. He says, thus the air resounds and the wind sighs. The child of heaven calls to the stars. And before she flees, she transforms herself as if incandescent. In pure flame she rises without pain or grief to the angelic choir. Night envelops the holy place, and filled with divinity, I sing the good news. Schubert then concludes his reflections on this goddess figure. And he does it by turning to a poem by, well, actually, we don't know who the poem is by. It could have been by Schubert himself. It's Des Tages Weihe, and it was set as a lead by Schubert as Deutsch 763. You, ruler of destiny, look down upon me, upon a heart full of thanks. Through this goddess figure, man has been drawn into an economy that transcends his imagination and calls him to a universe that's higher, into an experience of life that is richer than any he has ever known. And now Schubert is going to seek to express this elevation in this final bit, this final setting of a poem. Joy has given us new life, the old pain is forgotten, all sorrow is gone. Through the mist beams the splendor of your majesty, shining as a crown of stars. You yourself, out of love for your father, emptied a chalice of sorrow. So, ruler of destiny, look upon me, upon a heart full of thanks. Far and wide be praised your triumphant love. through a superimposition of one world upon another, of one poem upon another, of the experiences that are made available through each poem. This, through the magic of music, these are superimposed upon one another, and they together give this ennoblement to the life experience, perhaps to our life experience as well.